All right. Ron, you're up.
Okay. So apart from the testimony of convicted terrorists and treasonists, was there any material facts that pointed to the involvement of Princess Elena in these attacks or in the League of Evil?
Not until other officers did further investigation into separate things and found further evidence.
Okay, and what was that further evidence?
I'm not too sure. I tried to not get too involved. He had it all handled. I believe it was phone messages, but I'm not too sure.
Okay. So, in terms of phone messages that were mentioned, is it possible to block a phone number with our service providers in the city?
I've seen people get blocked before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
Billy
But
blocked
if
me
you
a
do
while
not want
ago
to receive a
after I
message
told
from
her to
someone,
stop hanging
is
out
there any
with.
way to effectively
Oh
prevent
my
that,
God!
other than changing your phone number?
Blocking them.
Okay. Are you certain that that is a possibility?
Wait.
Could you direct me to where that
I just realized.
Where that is achievable?
Yeah, do you want me to?
When Tilly said I got blooded into a game.
Just tell me where to go on my phone. You know?
You just block their number.
Okay, but how?
Is this what we're doing? Really?
Yeah, objection weird, Ron.
Yeah,
Come
like
on, man.
actually, like.
Thank you.
Wait, what? What do you?
No,
what
we're
are you
moving
actually
forward
talking
from
about?
this. We're moving forward.
Okay, if you're going to use her receiving messages from terrorists as evidence, then I can establish that you can't block those messages. That is not weird.
Did she have a trial?
Okay.
Rebuttal, Your Honor. As defense counsel should know, there's also text between her and non-members of terrorist organization discussing
Okay,
the
counsel
attacks.
is testifying. You can get to that later.
Yeah, the interpreter. That was how the step forward got me.
I hear you, though, and I understand the argument you're trying to place.
Yeah, yeah, that step forward. Yeah, that was. Yo, that step forward went hard.
Okay, I will take that number, store.
Yeah.
Number, store.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, again, apart from these messages that you're not too familiar with, do you have any other reason to believe, as an investigator here today in the court, that Princess Elena has had anything to do with terrorist actions in the city or in the county?
I'm not sure if I'm here as an investigator, but like I have said, no. Other than anything else that was brought up in the investigation that was not being led by me, everything that we had, I, thought was too little to go on to do anything.
Now, you had mentioned earlier in your testimony that the League of Evil had also attempted to secure money from Los Santos County. Could you elaborate on your knowledge of that?
Yes. So the first time it had happened, I believe it was Nino. He had received a text requesting a sum of money in the millions. I can't remember the exact amount, and it was basically followed by a threat of something to the extent of, "You don't give us this money, we're gonna burn down the Vinewood sign tomorrow."
Okay, so you're aware that this League of Evil is perfectly capable of extorting public officials for large amounts of money under threat of violence.
Except they weren't successful because I'm awesome at my job. Yes.
So,
Sorry,
so
why are you laughing?
they weren't successful. In that case, do you know if they were successful in receiving the money from Princess Elena?
I believe they were actually, every single time I told them that. So okay, so I might have to go into like a little bit.
Objection, Your Honor. At this point, he's treating the witness as an investigator, which she has never been listed as such. She is simply a witness, and none of this is inside the scope of my direct.
Actually, every question, Your Honor, has been inside the scope. I'm talking about the dam. I'm talking about the extortion that was referenced against Los Santos County as opposed to Blaine County. This is all within scope.
All right, you can keep the questions obviously within the realm of Opal as a witness to these incidences, but not her experience as an investigator. That's can you rephrase the question? I do hear where Wes is heading, but I also want to understand what you're doing here, Bron.
All right. Again, I'm going to ask, are you aware of any successful efforts by the League of Evil to secure money from government officials, either in Blaine County or in Los Santos County?
No, they were always really upset because apparently they would only get paid if they were successful in doing so in Los Santos County, and I always stopped it, so they were always really upset.
We got the dam.
Okay. What do you mean by they would only get paid if they were successful?
I believe it was during the first incident, the sign incident. I believe what he had said was that if they were successful in blowing it up, they would get, don't quote me on the actual number, $7 million from the Blaine County Mayor's office. To which I stated that my brain too big. I followed your plans. That shit's still standing. And he said, "No, screw you."
That's just over 1% of the Los Santos budget.
Something like that.
Yep, not wrong.
Okay. And do you find the word of a terrorist or a treasonist to be credible without strong corroboration?
It depends on the
I think we've
circumstances.
gone over this like 5 times, and I said no, which is why I didn't act on it.
All right. Thank you very much, Opal.
All right. Anything from prosecution?
Apologies, Your Honor. Several,
No,
unfortunately.
please. You're fine. You're doing your job.
I'm gonna fire you.
Sergeant
Oh,
Price, did
Sorry.
you participate in the investigation that led to this trial as an investigator?
I was aware of the investigation, but I actually didn't do any of the work.
Okay. At any point, did you review the evidence? Did you participate in discussions? Did you write any reports or submit any evidence into the docket?
I did not submit anything into the docket, but I have seen the evidence. I was made aware of discussions around it, is it bad to admit that I don't know if my reports regarding the terrorists have been added, but I think they might have at least been referenced, or the recordings. Oh, actually, I do know the recordings were taken for evidence, yes.
Okay, but it would be fair to say you're not completely familiar with the evidence in this case.
That is correct.
Okay. And do you have knowledge of the inner working of the Blaine County Mayor's office?
No, not really.
So would you be able to tell us if a terrorist organization was successful in either extorting or getting money?
No, I don't know how much money the Blaine County. Well, yeah, I don't know how much money the Blaine County not sheriff's office, the Blaine County has.
Okay. And during the Mirror Park incident, there was a text message sent to Nino Chavez. Are you familiar with this?
You said the Mirror Park Dam?
Correct.
Probably, but you might have to jog my memory or point me to where I can see it.
So it will be in evidence. It will be in the second sealed subpoena. And it is a text message from Princess that states, Your Honor, I'm just going to reference the evidence itself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you're good. Go right ahead.
The text message refers to her messaging Nino regarding, are you okay? And then he states, yes, dealing with the situation, it should be resolved now. And she follows up with,
oh, yes, I remember
okay.
this. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to prove I do remember this. It was something along the lines of, I'm sorry I should have taken the League of Evil serious sooner or something like that. Yeah, that's the one?
Correct.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Did she also in those messages state she believes she know who carried out the attack?
I want to say she did state that.
And was this prior to the interrogations had even been conducted, and any public information other than a vague state announcement was sent to the public?
I believe so.
And there was a Twitter post made by an officer during that incident. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Did that Twitter statement
Oh,
have any
Helen.
knowledge, or did it say anything about who carried out a terror attack?
As far as I remember, it just said terrorism is bad, guys.
No further questions.
Please let me go. Please.
Yeah, you can step down, Bryce.
Oh my god.
Not subject to recall from the prosecution, Your Honor.
Oh shit. Thank you, Wes. I apologize. Thank you. Alrighty. I don't have your list. Who's next?
Your Honor, the state calls Constance Lee wrecked.
Wait, that's a name?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I realize now.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, welcome up.
What?
Hi, Miss Judge. I was
Hello.
told to ask you, and then I suffer from like cereals at ACDC and stuff like that, and sitting back there would make me really nervous because it's confined. Do you mind if I sit, like, if I walk in front?
Oh God.
Oh yeah. They can do that.
Aoife, the witness is going to be standing and moving around for their testimony, but they agreed to be sworn in just on their feet. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, understood. Could you raise your left hand, please?
Hi.
Could you raise your left hand for the court?
Oh God.
Okay, that
Okay.
works. Do you
You know what,
swear
we'll
to
take that.
tell the truth? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you, under penalties of perjury, so help you, airborne?
Well,
Did she say anything? I didn't hear anything.
Do you want to just do it, Your Honor?
yeah,
hear me, I
it's not a
guess?
problem. All right. Rack, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, airborne.
Oh yes. Yes,
All right.
for sure.
She's sworn in, and thank you if I apologize. Alrighty, Wes.
All right. Constance, have you ever been arrested, charged, or convicted with any charges relating to terrorism?
No, no, I have not.
Okay. Are you a member of the League of Evil?
Oh, not just a member. I am the current leader of the League of Evil because Yuri Popov is dead. If anybody would
Wait,
like to
what?
check that, I went earlier. I went to the cemetery and I dug up his
Wait,
grave.
when the fuck did he
I
die?
found his IP amongst one of the corpses there, and I brought it in case illegally. Yeah. Oh, but I don't
Isn't
have
that
it with me because the guy
desecration
took
of
it.
a corpse?
Well, no, because the dead have no rights, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I found his IP. and
Oh,
I
that's
found
true.
his-
I forgot I can subpoena
so,
every dead
yeah, I'm
person.
sorry, my hands are a little dirty. It's
Oh
okay.
my God.
I'm really nervous. But
No
yes,
worries.
I am the new current leader of the League of Evil. Hi.
And you can really mean it
And
when I
can
say
you
I fucked
explain
your
what
mom.
the League of Evil is?
Hi. Yeah. So the League of Evil is an organization to help bring chaos to the city, to help disrupt the order, and yeah.
All right. And would it be fair to describe it as a terrorist organization?
I mean, sometimes they do terrorist acts, yes, but it's not a terrorist organization, or it's an organization of evil.
All right. And have you been promised or offered anything for your cooperation in this case?
Yeah, and then when we first started, wait, in the case. No,
Yeah.
sorry. My ACDC went wild. No, I have not been promised anything for the case. I'm here on my own free will.
Okay. And you're not currently under investigation for participation in any of the terrorist attacks, is that correct?
Oh, not that I know of.
Would you being here be a benefit to you in any way, or would you feel it places you in danger potentially?
Well, I mean, I'm just here. I mean, the only thing that might put me in danger is I think that a couple of cops were kind of upset that I was walking around in circles around them, but I think that I'm okay here. I can be fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm free. I'm safe. I think that's answers your question.
All right. And can you tell me about Yuri Popov's role in the League of Evil?
Well, Yuri Popov, yeah, when I first met Yuri Popov, he told me that he wanted to start an organization called the League of Evil. And then slowly, as we started building and getting closer, he led me into his inner circle. And the thing with the inner circle is it's just a couple of us. And now with Yuri Popov gone, he had actually sat down and made me the leader before he had passed away, because things weren't going really our way. You know, we keep trying to do things and nothing was really working. So we're going to try to reevaluate the things under new leadership. And anyway, so now I'm the new leader of the evil. But yeah, he was just trying to make an organization to bring chaos to the world.
Okay.
Wait, it's
And
faceless.
I'm
what
so
is
sorry.
your-
Is there
Go ahead.
any way we could just have a moment to catch up on notes?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Thank
Let
you.
me know when you're ready.
Hi.
Oh my god.
It's not that bad. Look, remember last time
we have to write
this
down
judge was
everything.
awesome. Ask him last time. I had a sidebar with him. He was like the best.
Claudia, do you need some water? Are you good? Okay, all right.
Wait, Barrick is up there. Oh,
That's
we know
it.
how this
Thanks,
is gonna
Claudia.
go.
You look amazing. I put a twat out for you earlier. It's incredible what you did.
The dissenting
All
vote
right,
has
all right,
arrived.
You can go ahead, Wes. Thank you.
No problem, Your Honor. Let me know at any time if you need that time. Constance, what is your knowledge of Yuri Popov's current status, though? I think you're.
I haven't really read any of the legislation, but
So
didn't
the
Pred
other
do
day, we
this?
were for
Not
for
guilty.
him, and then while we were there at the cemetery, we were trying to see who was going to bring gifts and see if anybody was going to say something mean about him. And if he wasn't dead, I was going to kill him anyway, you know, for trying to pretend that he was dead. And now that he's dead, I went and picked up a couple of graves there, and I found his ID. Like I said, it's with the guys outside, but I haven't seen Yuri in weeks, and it's really like disturbing. He's now in charge of this League of Evil, and like, you know, I think I answered your question, so I should stop. Yes.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw Yuri Popov?
The day of the Great Mind War, I think. Like, I had these crazy wild dreams of all these people and like helicopters and all kinds of stuff, but I don't know. And then I woke up at the hospital, and then I think that was the last I saw. And then Nurse Joy had texted me, but now Nurse Joy is dead, so I don't know if I could trust Nurse Joy. But yeah, that last that I had seen him was during the Great Mind War. And the last I had heard was he was in ICU from Nurse Joy, but then Nurse Joy died, and then now I heard he's dead. So I went to go look for his body.
Okay. And did Yuri Popov have knowledge of the members, their roles, and the finances of the League of Evil?
I mean, yeah, he was the one that started it. You know, he figured everything, so I would assume that he would know everything.
And was some of that knowledge shared with you by Yuri Popov directly?
Oh my goodness, yes. He always tells me that he trusted me a lot because I was one of his favorite members. That's why I'm part of the inner circle, and he gave me trust of the League of Evil before, you know, he stepped down, and now I'm totally in charge of it. So yeah, I think he would trust me with the kind of stuff.
Okay. So not necessarily an inner circle member, but is Princess Elena involved with the League of Evil?
Well, yeah, she was one of the original members. We have these like cool people that we have these people called around. I think her name was something like the bird of the earth. Oh yeah, the early bird, because it catches the worm.
Okay. And has Princess Elena participated in League of Evil discussions about the League with other members?
Yeah, I think yeah, she came one time. But you know, she was under disguise, and she had like some makeup on, and she, you know, she had a little hoodie on that she was wearing, and we were calling her something else. But you know, secretly we all knew that she was the princess. But yeah, she came to one of our meetings. Lots of people
Okay.
come to our meetings, actually.
when you say that you were calling her something else, does she have a code name in the League of Evil?
Yeah, she the early bird because it catches the bird. You know,
All
because
right.
I guess if the bird wakes up late, it doesn't get its food and it stays hungry all day. But okay, what else?
Did Yuri Popov ever discuss with you that an agreement had been made with Princess Elena to pay the League of Evil?
So my understanding was that as long as we didn't do like as long as we kept our shenanigans towards the city, you know, we might get a little bit of funding to help Mr. Yuri or fund the League of Evil. Yeah, because we're trying to get a space laser built in the Blade County.
And that money was specifically in exchange for doing what?
Not doing what we do up north. You know, we gotta keep something clean. You know, we don't want to destroy everything. We want to keep, like, if we're gonna destroy the city, people have got to move somewhere else where they can make a living. You know, so why wouldn't they go up north?
Do you believe that Princess Elena was aware of specifically the Mirror Park Dam attack before it occurred?
I don't.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that answer?
The Mirror Park Dam. I don't know.
Okay. And who was in charge of negotiating with Princess Elena on behalf of the League of Evil?
I mean, I guess it was Yuri because he was the one that originally talked to her and kind of initiated her, and she came along.
Wait, and now he's
Yeah, I mean,
dead.
she's also in charge of herself. She could do whatever she wants. So
And did Yuri Popov ever state directly to you that Princess Elena was going to compensate the League of Evil?
that yeah, she was going to try to help us in some kind of way, you know, because however manner that we could get her, you know, without disrupting her as a mayor or anything, you know. But
What?
Nothing further at this time. Your Honor.
Oh my God!
Please, just get her out of my sight.
No cross, Braun?
We don't have any questions for a member of a terrorist organization. We don't care. Just get her out of here.
I'm not
Please,
a terrorist.
please, before I get a headache.
Okay, okay. All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good
You
one.
are dismissed.
Do I need to come back up later?
No, you should be good.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're good. Oh, Claudia.
Bro!
Claudia went away.
Chat, guilty
Can
or
we
not
take
guilty?
Take a 5-minute recess, please.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
I need to
Thank
rest
you.
my eyes for a
All
minute.
right, we're gonna put the court in
God
a
damn.
temporary 5-minute recess. We'll be back momentarily.
No, friends don't let me take drugs. I asked if I could take cocaine because you know it's a super stimulant. And I tried to take ADHD medication, but here the doctors will prescribe it to me. I did try one time oxy and it doesn't make me feel very good. It makes me like feeling like blow up. But no, I haven't tried any other things. It's like it was just fine this way. I think if you're one of the officers that's running the thing, right?
Wait, did any of us have food, by the way, guys?
Well, you know, they told me that I tried to get the Adderall, you know, to see if it would make me feel better, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe if I take the cocaine, it would be like a super Adderall and make me just stop moving.
Hey, I'll see for. Oh, never mind.
You just have to come out with me to get it.
If you need food, I got you.
Princess, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'd
I had a
appreciate it.
foster dad. He used to give me little popsicles, and they were purple, and they used to taste like nighttime medicine, and I would just drink those down, but they didn't really do anything.
Well, you know, I have this strange feeling that the reason you ran for mayor was because Murphy didn't care about the fire process.
Okay.
Yep, my intention is to ask to do it closing.
Wait. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The way it happened was, I literally was bored, so I flew into the city. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go practice law. Crane gave me a license. Man, I learned that Maximilian Thoroughbred and Jeffrey Bones forced Fiona Stewart into a bank to give it to hostage takers so that they could rob it. And then didn't make a report. So I asked for a FOIA, and that's when I learned that the PD was telling people, we don't legally need to give you any FOIA. So I went to Murphy, who is the head of bar, and I said, hey, this is a problem because I'm having an issue with this, with not just this case, but other cases. I'm talking to other attorneys, and they're having the same problem. They literally cannot work, right? Unless they just Hail Mary to the docket every time to force the production. And was having Oh, he was having some relationship issues, which is, and that was more important. So,
Yeah, I heard Max was fucking his ex-wife or something.
yes, yeah, yeah, that's what it was. So when I brought it to him, he was, now mind you, I had helped him get that position prior because, you know, veteran, whatever, right? So it's like that one time you call in and you're like, hey, all of us that you represent, we need your help. And he's like, I got better things to do. And that's when I fucking let him have it. You know what I mean? And, but yeah.
And here we are a year later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything. So show me some food.
No, we're gonna go over it. The whole point of keeping everything sealed was twofold. To make it clear that we're not just trying to release all her private info.
You know, I got a plan for you. I'm not gonna lie. You
The mumbles to pred treatment.
Both of them, yep.
Then someone tries to get my food, and then I lose everything in my pocket that I've ever owned.
The person who kind of started all of this by providing the info.
The moral of the story is don't fuck with old rooster crew. Yeah.
That name we're trying to keep hidden from the public. Okay. That's the one that got redacted out of the reports given to defense.
Yeah, that shit was
What are the odds
crazy.
she testifies?
I'm sorry?
What are the odds that Princess testifies? There's been a lot of stuff. Is like if you don't
I think
give a
it'd be
response, it's like
Yes, I actually agree. I'd say if I was the attorney, I would 1000% put her up there, but ensure that the questions that I asked were
really
resilient to
tight with
cross.
scope. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is, you know, for example, you can't take her word for it. She's a terrorist. The problem is that what her statements say are corroborating. So where's the affirmative defense? Like, I don't, like hello?
Yeah. I would at least expect her to go on the stand and explain the money stuff.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'd have to leave and come back.
I feel really bad about that actually. I didn't actually want to block her.
I think actually you have to go to Toledo and come back.
She like moved her hand and now I can't see her anymore. She like don't see it.
You gotta go to Barry Island and come back.
I thought we established Barry Allen was real.
Oh shit!
Oh, I see. You're just trying to get me to run away. You're gonna have to try better than that. Sorry, I felt bad. I felt bad about that. Holy shit, it's just died. Didn't see it.
Yo, this is chat. What do you think of the court case so far? I thought this is pretty good so far, to be honest.
Is Princess talking with the terrorist right now?
Yeah, I think they're having a back and forth, to be honest. Hey, Helios.
Hello.
How can I help you?
Hi.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed your call the other day. It's been nonstop.
That's fine. That's fine.
Please
It's
get this
the end of
fucking
election
terrorist away from
season.
us.
People are gonna call
Or
you to
terrorist organization
the last
member
minute.
who has not been convicted of terrorism herself.
Okay, I called you because I wanted to
needed-
know what I'm supposed to do with the
What's an
court
IFA?
account that I have
Aoife,
right
she's
now.
the DOC
Oh,
owner.
don't worry about it. I'm going to be asking the justice to give me all the court's
French,
accounts. I'm going to drain them back into the county account. Not today, no.
Yes, it is.
Just make sure that if there's anything like pending, that it's sorted, which it should be, because
Yes.
I think everything's good, right?
Yeah, nothing. You guys, all of the money is there.
Easy. Yeah, I will sort that. I'm actually sitting next to Maury. I'm going to ask him right now.
Yep, no worries. But
All
that's
right.
pretty much it. I do have a grant waiting.
Oh, yes. I'm going to take care of that
Another
probably tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, little bro.
Okay, perfect.
Easy.
But honestly, I am tired, so I'm just gonna go to sleep pretty early today.
Hey,
Have a nice day.
I appreciate you. You take care, brother. Bye. Hey, Maury, whenever you got a chance, doesn't have to be immediate. If we can get all the courts accounts sent to me, like applied to me, and I'm gonna drain them back into the county account. So all those like satellite accounts, like so whoever wins the election, they're starting with like everything's in there,
Mm-hmm.
Sheep, shagger. David, what am I?
Oh, I gotta go say hi to my dad.
So there's a common misunderstanding that in the court case itself,
Hey, Dad.
wait, is Jimbo Barrett's son?
Yeah. So is Cat Archer's also Barrick's daughter.
Oh, that is yes.
Just give me a call if they need me for anything else. Yes.
All right, they're all in your name now.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I miss my dad.
As much as I love making everything about you, Jimbo, get back to doing your job. Thank you so much. All right, court's called back into session.
You thought you were getting paid.
I believe we have one more witness for the prosecution.
Your Honor, we actually don't. The final one would have been Yuri Popov, so we will rest. And if you grant permission, I'd like to highlight evidence prior to closing, not now.
Oh, okay. Were you not calling yourself as a witness? Am I crazy?
Oh, you're entirely correct. I am calling myself as a witness. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
Wow. Nice, Wes.
They're not even gonna call me. Oh.
Princess of you can. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna stop doing your guys' jobs for you. I'm gonna stop.
Because she could just plead the fifth.
Yep.
All right, so we will be calling myself, Your Honor.
Is that a thing
Wow,
here
that's great.
where
Sorry.
they have to?
No, you're fine. It's just today's been a lot, so it just totally slipped my mind.
Like if they plead it once, then they
Eva,
can't
please.
talk at all.
Yeah, like that, like because I know it's always been like back and forth. Like,
Yes.
is it an inherent or?
Could you raise your left hand for the court, please?
Some of us have a different opinion. I think
Do
that if
you
you
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
If you
the
plead the
fifth when the
fifth, then you can't
prosecution
come up with
calls
the
you.
defense.
perjury, so help you
Yeah,
God?
it's.
I do.
We can
Witness
talk
has
about
been
that one.
sworn in
I
your
prefer the option that lets people talk.
Thank you. Thank you
Agreed.
so much, Aoife. Captain, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I'm just gonna ask if Officer West here can give a narrative of the situation today.
Hey, what happened?
Yeah, objection vague, objection narrative.
All right, Your Honor. I will ask questions. All right, Mr. Officer West, what part did you play in this investigation of Princess?
I was the primary investigator.
Hey, this is taking too long. Hey, split it up into questions.
Did you subpoena the bank records for Blaine County?
No, those were FOIA'd by a different officer on June the 5th and then provided to me.
Did you review the FOIA when you received it?
I did.
Were there any discrepancies?
There were multiple of the transactions do not follow the Blaine County Blaine County Account Authority legislation. In addition, that some of the transactions were done at a loss to people directly connected to the mayor herself.
Did you then subpoena phone records on behalf of Princess?
I did, yes.
Is there a reason for sealing them?
There is. Well, there is evidentiary pieces in the results of that subpoena. It is not respective of the mayor's rights as a citizen in the state to just blatantly release, a month and a half of text messages to the general public.
How did you become aware Princess played a role with League of Evil?
During the Mirror Park damming attack, I was one of the officers involved in that response. And then in the follow-up kidnapping of Junior Huntley and hijacking of an aircraft, I was also one of the officers involved and interrogated Yuri Popov during that incident. Like Opal, like Sergeant Price, at first there wasn't enough evidence. Does that make sense? As defense counsel has pointed out, taking the word of somebody who's literally being charged for the act as your sole piece of evidence is not enough to continue an investigation.
What other evidence did you find connecting her to League of Evil?
There were a few things. During the incidents, it was a common thing that her name had been brought up by multiple suspects, not just one. Additionally, other non-involved people in the attacks that are affiliated with League of Evil members or the League of Evil then started coming forward to myself, indicating her direct involvement. Ultimately, it led to an investigation of a private email server. And
Wait,
that led to the
what?
disclosure of some identities. Additionally, when we reviewed the subpoena results of her text messages, there's
Yo,
literally
polite
a text
cat?
message between her and Constance Lee Recht saying League of Evil meeting, can't talk now.
And that was in the phone subpoena.
Polite cat?
From her
Correct.
records.
Polite cat?
Were there any other text messages to other individuals referencing terrorism or League of Evil?
As discussed during Sergeant Price's testimony, during the Mirror Park Dam attack, she reached out to Nino Chavez and indicated she had knowledge not only of the attack ongoing, but who had carried it out, and stated something to the effect of, I should have taken the League of Evil seriously. In her phone contacts were conversations with multiple known League of Evil members, along with other concerning messages that don't have to deal with terrorism.
All right. Are you aware of any contracts between Princess and the people that purchased properties in Blaine County?
The only contracts I'm aware of were
You guys suck at clicking the button,
provided
chat.
by the defense in response to a motion to produce, and all of those documents had a created date of July 2nd, 2025.
And when about were the properties in question sold?
Whoa!
Essentially,
Chill
it
my
ranges
computer.
from the beginning of her entry
You're
into
heating
the
up my
office
CPU, guys.
until as recently as the last couple weeks, if there aren't ones more recent that I'm unaware of.
Ah, still slow. Carpal tunnel kicking in.
Just give me a second, Your Honor. Are you aware of the original amount that was in the Blaine County account when Princess Elena became mayor?
I am not. It is my understanding that we do not have a inability to get the records with a balance at that time.
Do you have an idea of how much she spent every week she was in office during her term with Blaine County?
Per week. Give me 1 second. I need to look at the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to. It's literally court. You dumb fucks. Why is he testifying? I'm talking about the twat, by the way. The polite cat.
Just in the transactions I've flagged alone, it ranges from 1 to up to 10 plus million
Per week.
per week.
What the
That
fuck?
she was in office as mayor.
Correct.
How much did she say? I didn't hear it.
Elena, you cannot ask questions during these
Sorry.
proceedings.
Just wanted to repeat it.
Yo, wait, she did that.
Could
What?
that be repeated, Your Honor?
Yes. Can you repeat your answer?
Yep. Just in the flagged transactions alone, it ranges between $1 to $10 million per week, depending on the week.
Are you aware of any of the owners of the properties that she sold?
Some of them yes, some of them no, as they still sit in the county's name. She's sold properties to Benicio Delgado, Anna Banana. I forget the name, but their the shop was or the business was affiliated with like Mayhem MC, I believe. And those are like the
I just
specific
realized
names I
how
had. I'd have to look at the
Michael can
records to
win
give you the
when
rest
you
of the
enter in your application. Michael should put, because you can put in
reference to
political
League of
party,
Evil.
Nino's party,
Do you have any other evidence linking her to
Nino
League of Evil,
Chavez's
as far as
party.
payments or besides the text messages? I know we spoke about that.
Interestingly, in the
And that would
private
yoink
bank
a
records of Mayor
shitload of
Elena,
votes.
within approximately 48 hours prior to each League of Evil terror attack, she withdraws cash. And it is
Oh
the
my
only time she
God.
withdraws cash from her bank account.
I'm just saying.
So
Hey, that's
They'd see Nino and vote. Yeah.
It's more than
Exactly.
It's about 6 plus actually. And for each
And
of
then you
those
can,
incidents involving
if people
the
bring
League
it
of
up, you'd be
Evil,
like, yeah, I'm
she
memeing because
made a
people keep
cash
saying that.
withdrawal of typically around 5,000
And that wins over some. And then
within
for the
48
others, they
hours
see it,
prior
they
to
don't
each
know.
attack.
It's like, oh, it's Nino's cabinet. Click. Holy fucking shit.
that's not really a large sum of money. So what do you think the 5 or 10,000 was used for?
Oh my God. Tell me that isn't 200 IQ.
I'm not sure.
I buy my ass for $5,000 every day.
To my understanding, from Yuri prior to his passing, from Constance, and from what was said in the interrogations, there was an agreement for her to pay them money to avoid attacking Blaine County. And as I said, 48 hours prior to each attack, she withdraws cash, and there's no comment associated.
What a find. Damn.
And again, it's the only time she withdraws cash.
Oh my God. Jesus.
How
really bad.
far back did
Yeah.
you subpoena her bank records?
I believe all records were subpoenaed back to the 1st of May.
Was breadcrumbs and then was the whole bakery.
And obviously,
Ye-
there's additionally the
Oh
testimony
my God.
of Constance, the recorded interrogations.
Yeah, you're right. Not
and
wrong.
various statements made that are referenced in the reports indicating she is involved. And this comes from at least 3+ sources every time.
I love how people are reductionalists. Be like, guys, it's sus not to leave a comment when pulling out money.
Are some of these people like intentionally trying to miss the point that she is legal?
Oh my God, I was thinking the
Comments?
same thing. It's like, you can't be that stupid, right?
There's no way, right? You have to be doing
Yeah.
this intentionally. Like, it's literally in law.
Knowledge of that.
You're saying that using the bank of the legal.
I spoke with Justice Falconer.
Can't.
And that is when he became a witness in this case.
Oh my God.
And in the bank record, it says DOJ payment advance. Or DOJ cost advance,
Who's Taylor Briggs? Yeah.
All right, Your Honor.
I've there ain't no way, dude.
Defense.
Oh my God. Edgar promises a strong PD. I helped build one.
Just a moment,
and it
Your Honor.
shows Princess in like holding like jail bars, like in jail.
I got nothing for this witness, Your Honor.
I feel like I'm a prime marketer, chat.
All right.
Giving up.
I assume
That's what it feels like.
Waving the white flag.
He's like a 5-year-old that's not getting his way. So he's just like giving up.
Oh, it's typical.
Your Honor,
yeah.
The defense insists that the prosecution go over evidence now as opposed to during
No.
closing. There is, as
What
they
the
referenced,
fuck?
a month and a half of text messages.
I
a
haven't.
whole
He
lot
hasn't
of
looked at
stuff
the
to go
evidence.
through. We want to know what is highlighted and what to defend.
It's like he didn't review the writ of mandamus earlier,
yes.
and he wants them to review it so that he can be reminded what he's arguing.
I would entertain a rebuttal on this, but proceedings dictate that I would prefer to move to if I want to know if Elena's coming up on the stand from the defense, as is her right.
Well, we haven't heard any evidence against her, so we
What?
have yet to make that
Bruh,
determination.
no shit.
Why we're requesting that they
This
go
isn't
over
a
evidence.
closing, dog. Like,
all they have is the word of terrorists and conjecture and hearsay.
yeah,
So I'd
bro,
like to review
that's
the
what
evidence.
happens. That's why the
That's
Ed
what
will.
the discovery
Your Honor, I
windows-
can rebut
Oh.
as you requested. We can do that. However, essentially, the answer to defense's question of what evidence do we defend against, they've had the evidence for a substantial amount of time.
We've had 95% of the evidence
No,
for
Braun,
about
you're
2
going to let him
days,
finish his
Your Honor.
statement. Braun,
That's
you're
a
going to let him
month and a
finish.
half of
Braun,
text messages
you're
and
getting
phone
contempt
records,
in the
Your
next
Honor,
2
and
seconds
you
if
know
you keep talking.
Oh,
You're going to let him finish. Go ahead, Wes.
Essentially, Your Honor, the evidence was provided to the defense, and what they should defend against is the evidence. It is not my job to lay out a road for them to defend their
You're gonna
client.
argue that they
That's
didn't have
their
access to
job.
her text
Their literal
messages?
role here is to defend their client. It's all been on the docket. Yes, some of the evidence, due to the sealed nature, was provided within the last few days. However, they came today and stated they were ready to proceed with trial.
Your Honor, I'll just repeat everything I already said. They presented the lion's share, about 90 to 95% of their evidence in sealed reports, socked away 2 days before trial, and expected
Why didn't he ask for
us
a
to just magically know
continuance?
which things they intend to
What?
use against my
Crazy.
client.
There,
We're
it was
talking
their
about a month
motions.
and a half of phone records. That is what this cop said on the stand
Objection.
moments ago. So again,
I'm a fucking
we would
baby.
like to hear the evidence before we determine whether my defendant, who has the right to remain silent, chooses to take the stand today.
Yep, that's why there's a ask
All
about
right,
it.
give me one moment to talk about it with my fellow judges, and we'll get back to you on that one because this is a complete change to procedure. Give us one moment.
That doesn't make any sense. So it doesn't make sense to highlight evidence prior to closing, as it is against due process, just inherently.
Right, but there's nothing stopping them making the highlight of evidence be contained within their closing, and it's essentially the same thing.
Well, exactly that. Because what this strategy effectively says is, tell us what your closing is going to be. What are you going to highlight, and what do we need to be careful of?
All judicial powers or attorneys are required by the state of San Andreas to motion for a mistrial. Is this incompetent defense?
It's incompetent something. I don't know if I'd call it defense.
Hey,
Like ineffective, like
this is